Good morning to you all students. Hi students, how are you? I hope you all are fine. Students, have you all enjoyed your holidays? So during these holidays, have you studied your portions? So we have completed chapter 1, 3, 4. Isn't it? 3 chapters we have completed. So have you all thorough these 3 chapters? Have you all studied? Yes. So welcome to our today's online class, students. So today we are going to study about a new chapter, chapter 5. So sorry, this is not a chapter 1, chapter 5. Okay, chapter 5. So our chapter 5 is working with Windows operating system. Okay. So today we are going to study about a chapter 5. The title of the chapter is working with Windows operating system. Okay. So in chapter 4, you have studied thorough about a operating system. Isn't it? So have you all studied thorough about operating system? So you know what do you mean by operating system, isn't it? So first volume fully you are studying the basics. What are the things in computer you are going to use? Okay. So what do you mean by operating system? So it is a software used to interaction between the user and a particular application, isn't it? So in this chapter you are going to study about how we are going to work in this operating system. Okay, so how you are going to work in this operating system. Okay, so listen, first they have given some introduction about operating system. This already you have studied. What do you mean by operating system? What are the uses of operating system? What are the applications of operating system? And what are the types of operating system? This and all already you have studied. But they have given some introduction about operating system. Okay. So whether operating system is a application software or system software. So think and say whether operating system is a system software or application software. So what's the difference between system software and application software? What do you mean by system software? So system software is a platform to support or to run applications. So system software is the interactive person between the applications and the hardware parts. That's a system software. Then what do you mean by application software? So what are the applications you are going to install? So that applications you are going to use as for example, you are installing Windows Media Player. Or if we take the same example as in a phone. From where you will install the softwares or where you will download the softwares from in your phone? From Play Store, isn't it? So from Play Store you will download lot of softwares or lot of applications. That we are calling as an what? Applications. So what's the use of application? For example, you are download YouTube application from Play Store. So what's the use of YouTube? You can able to download videos, many things from YouTube, isn't it? Yes, that is called as application software. So this operating system is a application software or system software. Last chapter you studied, no? It is a system software. Okay. So this operating system acts the interface between hardware and the particular software. For example, so I have connected mouse with my laptop. So I have connected mouse with my laptop. Whether this mouse needs to work. So without the working of the mouse, I have connected the mouse with the laptop. Is it useful? No. So what are the devices you are connected to your system or laptop that needs to work? Isn't it? So the interaction between particular hardware device to the particular application or particular software, that interaction is done by whom? This operating system. Understand? So that's the second point they have given. So it enables the hardware. That means what are the hardware? Maybe keyboard, maybe mouse or motherboard or anything, printer, scanner. So what are the things you have connected to your system that devices needs to communicate with your system properly. So that support or that interaction is done by whom? This operating system. So it acts as an intermediary person or interface. So it acts as an interface between whom and whom? User and the particular device. Isn't it? So that only the one example I said. So I have connected mouse to my computer means the mouse needs to work. So I am the user. So I am working with the mouse. So who is the intermediary person between me and the mouse? Particular software or this operating system. So this operating system will control or interface between whom? User and what are the devices you have connect, and also it will control all the operations on the computer. So software applications it will control, then devices, what are the devices you have connected in that devices and all operating system will control, then what are the processes are running inside the CPU, that processor control. So all that means overall execution are controlled by whom? This operating system. Okay, so some of the important functions of the operating system are, what are the important functions? These important functions and all already you have studied thoroughly in last chapter. Isn't it? Yes. What are the functions you have studied in last chapter? Memory management, process management, device management, file management. So this and all you have studied thoroughly in last chapter itself. I will understand the introduction about operating system. Yes. The same thing they have given in a picture. Okay. So look at this picture. You'll understand. Okay. So first block they have given user 1, user 2 and user n. So what's the meaning of that means? So in that particular software, here how many users are using? Maybe you consider here user 1, 2 and up to n. That means any number of users can use the particular system or laptop. Okay. So here, so the computer is comprised of two things. What are the? Hardware as well as software. So this both hardware and software is controlled by whom? Whom? Operating system. So listen. So in this software, so what are the two softwares you have studied? What are the two softwares you have studied? System software as well as application software. So this software is divided into two types. What are they? System software as well as application software. So this both system software and this application software is controlled by whom? A software called operating system. Understand? So here more than 3 or 4 or any number of users can use the operating system. So listen. So here particular user is using the system. So in that system, so system is divided into two parts. What are they? Hardware parts as well as software parts. Isn't it? So the software divided into two types. What are they? System software as well as application software. So both system software and this application software is controlled by whom? This operating system. Understand? What do you mean by system softwares? So particular hardware devices are connected to the system. That software, that means that hardware parts are controlled by a particular software called system software. So what do you mean by application software? What are the applications you are using? So that is called application software. So both these softwares is controlled by whom? Operating system. Isn't it? So this is the software parts. Then, so all these hardware parts. What do you mean by hardware parts? What are the hardware devices you have studied? Monitor, keyboard, mouse, scanner. So inside here they are given inside the CPU. So CPU, what are the devices you have studied? Memory devices, then motherboard. Lot of things you have studied, isn't it? So simply they have given in hardware block CPU. So inside the CPU, what do you mean by RAM? RAM is a memory, isn't it? Random access memory. I/O means input, output. What are the input devices? Input and output devices. Some examples for input and output devices. Input devices, keyboard, then mouse. These are the input devices. What are the output devices you have studied? Monitor, projector, printer, isn't it? Yes, all these things are controlled by whom? This operating system. For example, listen. So you are going to on the system. Here lot of users are there. Consider user 1 is going to on the system. Okay. So immediately if the user on the system, so particular screen will display. The particular user needs to use any one of the application. Maybe the particular user is going to view one video file in his system. Okay. So system, particular user will on the system. The particular screen will display. So the user is going to use which system or which software? The user is going to play some video file. Maybe he will use YouTube or VLC media player or any one application. So immediately on the system, one screen will display. That is called what? Operating system or OS screen. That already you have studied. So system software on. Then the particular user is going to view video file. That is called what? Application software. So once the user switch on the system, the control flow from where to where? First on the system means the control flow to where to where? To hardware device. That means CPU. Then the control. So once you switch on the system, so that is called first chapter you have studied now booting. So what do you mean by booting? Inside the CPU, it will check whether all the devices are connected properly. That is called booting, isn't it? So immediately the booting over, this softwares or the system softwares and application software will run. That is controlled by operating system. Understand? This is the overview of an operating system. So next thing, so you are going to study about Windows operating system. Okay. So what are the operating system you have studied at the last chapter? Are you remembering? Windows, Unix, Linux, Ubuntu. These are the some most popular operating systems, isn't it? So here, here we are going to study about Windows operating system. Okay. So each and every computer have one operating system. So without operating system, whether the system will function properly. So without the operating system, whether the system will function properly. For example, all of you have mobile phones in your hand. So in your mobile phones, while you are buying the mobile phone, they have not installed any softwares. So based on your needs, you will install some softwares, isn't it? Download from Play Store. So without installing that softwares, whether the mobile phones is useful. So based on your needs, you will install software. Based on your needs, you are using. So without the installing of that particular software, the mobile phone has no use. Same way, so without this operating system, the computer cannot work properly. Okay. Then, so one of the important feature in this operating system is GUI. What do you mean by GUI? Last chapter, are you remembering GUI? Graphical User Interface. So listen, so each and every chapter is related to one another. Okay, so please don't miss any of the chapters. If you miss any of the chapter means the continuation of each chapter won't get. So you will feel tough to study. Okay. So what do you mean by GUI? Graphical User Interface. Are you remembering? So I have shown one form with the menus. What are they? For example, you are going to fill some online forms. So online forms, what are they given in the form itself? They are given columns for what? That means text boxes for name, address, date of birth. Isn't it? So this and all menus. And also particular websites, if you have opened means you can see colorful screens or colorful forms they have given for you to fill. This and all called what? Graphical user interface. So online shopping. So for example, in online shopping, you are going to buy particular things. So what you will, where you will enter all the things in the screen particular. For example, first you will enter your pin code to check particular things will deliver for you. Isn't it? So that and all called what? Graphical user interface. And understand what you mean by graphical user interface? So this is one of the important question. Last chapter we studied graphical user interface. Okay. Then multitasking. This is also very important. Multitasking. Okay. So what do you mean by multitasking? So in your phone or in your computer, whether you will install only one application. For example, take a mobile phone. In mobile phone, whether you will install any one application only. Only one application only you will install in your mobile phone? No. So you will install lot of applications, isn't it? MX Player you will install, Gallery you will install, then YouTube you will install, then Share, Hello App, WhatsApp, FB, etc. So lot of applications you will install. Likewise, in system also, based on your needs, you can install lot of softwares. So what do you mean by multitasking means? So more than one application, listen, more than one application can execute at the same time in Windows. Understand? So more than one application can execute same time in Windows. Understand? What's the meaning of that one means? Listen. So for example, I am going to type something in the Word file where you will type in Word. So at the same time, I am opening one PDF file. So how many applications I have opened? Word, PDF, and another one. Listen, I have opened one PowerPoint presentation. So how many things I have opened? 3. So 3 things I am opening and using at the same time. So this system will execute these 3 softwares at the same time. That is called what? Multitasking. Understand what you mean by multitasking? So more than one application you are using and executing at the same time. That is called what? Multitasking. Understand? Very important, this one, multitasking. Then, so what are the input devices? Already you have studied what are the main input devices? Keyboard and mouse. Is it? So, so this Windows operating system or this operating system also use which are the input devices used for your system? Either keyboard or mouse. Operating system will support this keyboard or mouse. Okay. So how you are using this mouse or how you are going to use this mouse with the interact to the system? What's the use of mouse? First chapter you have studied, isn't it? Mouse, about mouse. So what's the use of mouse? It's one of the input device. You can interact to the system by clicking some things or selecting or deleting or drag something, move icons here and there. That and all, that's the use of mouse. Okay. So mouse is one of the main input device to interact with the Windows by clicking each icons or anything. You can select, you can click, you can move. Then what's the use of keyboard? What's the use of keyboard? You can enter, by using keyboard you can type anything. You can enter alphabets, numbers, special characters, symbols, etc. That's the use of what? Keyboard. So this all the functions will support by whom? Windows operating system. Okay. So what are the things you got discussed in this slide? So it is the one of the important system software. It's the interaction between user and the hardware device, and one of the most popular features supported by this operating system is the graphical user interface. That's one of the important thing. Then multitasking. What do you mean by multitasking? More than one applications or multiple application you can able to use at the same time. That is called what? Multitasking. So what are the input devices supported by Windows? Mouse, common input devices, you know, mouse and keyboard. So what's the use of mouse? You can able to click particular things or you can able to drag particular things. Then what's the use of keyboard? You can able to type or enter what are the alphabets, then numbers you can enter and special characters, isn't it? Then what are the main, this is one of the very important 2 mark as well as 3 mark question, okay? So what are the important functions of the Windows operating system? Okay, so what's the main function of the Windows operating system? So first function is, so it will access all the applications. So what do you mean by applications? So take the example of mobile phones. I said no, applications. What are the applications I said as example? So YouTube, MX Player, WhatsApp, FB, these and all applications. So you are installing that applications in your mobile phone. Your mobile phone will access the application. What do you mean by access? It will accept. So what are the applications you are installing? The particular mobile phone will accept the applications and you are going to use the application in your mobile phone. For example, you are installing WhatsApp in your mobile phone, but particular WhatsApp is not supported in your mobile phone. So whether you will use WhatsApp or whether you would prefer to use WhatsApp in your mobile phone? No. So if it is not accepting particular application is called not access. Okay, now do you understand what do you mean by access? So what are the applications you are installed? So this operating system will access the particular application. Understand? So for that some example of application they have given. See what are the means? Word processing. Word processing means word, the word file. So you can able to type the file in Word. Okay. Then games. You can install any games in your system. Then spreadsheets. Spreadsheets means you can able to done calculations. Okay. You can enter your mark. You can enter your attendance. Like calculations and all you can do in spreadsheets. Okay. Then calculators. Calculators also you can, what's the use of calculator? To do mathematical calculations. Likewise, lot of applications of there, but they have given some examples for it. Okay. What's the first point functions of Windows operating system? It will access applications. What are the applications? You are installing on a computer, it will access the applications. Okay. Understand? Then, second point is load any new program on the computer. So, if you are installing any new software, so that software also it will load as a new program. Okay, that means any new software can be installed in the particular system by the support of OS. That's the meaning of load any new program. Any new software can be installed by the support of this OS. Okay, understand the second point? Then third point, manage hardware devices. What do you mean by manage? What do you mean by management? For example, school is there. For school, separate school management. What's the meaning of what's the use of management? So in management, particular head offices will be there. The particular persons will manage the staffs, those who are working below the management. Isn't it? So they will control all the persons working under the management. Likewise, it will manage all the hardware devices. So what are the hardware devices? Lot of hardware devices are there. So some examples they are given. Printer, scanner, mouse, camera, so the projector, a lot of things, monitor. So all these hardware devices are managed by whom? This operating system. That's the third point. Understand? Next thing, fourth point is the file management activities. What do you mean by file management? The same example, you have taken a mobile phones. You can able to create any new folder in your mobile phone. As per your wish, you can able to copy any files in that folder. You can able to delete that folder. You can able to rename that folder. You can able to modify that folder. or modify the images or files or any files, anything. That is called file management activities. The same thing in system also, you can able to create the file, you can able to modify, you can able to save the file, you can able to delete, or you can able to create the folder, delete the folder, etc, etc. So these are called as what? File management activities. Okay, so this activity is also controlled by whom? This operating system. This is also in one of the important functions of operating system. Okay. Next point is, so all the computer settings are come under whom? Come under whom? Operating system. Mobile phones also settings is there. What's the use of setting? So you can able to change the color, you can able to control the volume or audio, video, then you can able to control what brightness, then volume, then what screen adjustments, etc, etc. Lot of things are there in settings. The likewise in computer also you can able to change the color scheme. Okay, color you can able to change various colors and also screensavers. What do you mean by screensaver? You know, in mobile phone screensaver, isn't it? Likewise in computer also you can use screensavers. Okay, so all these functions are controlled by whom? Operating system. So this is very, very important question. Okay, so how many functions you have studied? 5 functions you have studied. What are the 5 functions? Just recall. So first function is access application. What do you mean by access application? So any software you can able to install, that software can be accessed by the particular OS or computer. Then any new program or any new application can you can able to load in your computer. What's that point? So it will control all the hardware devices. What are the hardware? Printer, scanner, etc. Then file management activities. What do you mean by file management? You can able to create the file, rename the file, delete the file, you can able to save the file, etc. Then settings. So all the computer settings, the screensavers, color scheme, everything will controlled by operating system. Understand? Very, very important 3 mark or 2 mark question. Okay. This is the very, very important 5 mark question. Okay. So first chapter you have studied types of generations of computer, isn't it? Likewise, this question also very, very important. Sometimes they will ask that questions or either that question or this question. Okay. Various versions of Windows. Very, very important question. Please study after completion of this session itself. You should study and write. Very, very important question. Last time also they asked this question 2 or 3 times for midterm exams or quarterly or half-yearly, I think it's so. So please study thorough. Okay. So if they ask for this question for 5 mark question means like this, you should make one tabular column. Okay, like the similar to the first chapter generations of computer, you should make tabular column like this and write. Okay, this diagram also you should draw. Simply by a marking you can draw, no need to draw the exact, by pencil you can mark like this. Okay, so listen. So what's the first version means? Windows 1.x. Okay, first version. So in first version, so Windows means mostly Microsoft Windows only. Okay, so first version is 1.x. So what the logo symbol is same. See, this is a logo symbol. So in which year they have introduced means 1985. Okay, so first version they have introduced in which year? 1985. So listen. So here's specific features only, very, very important. So please don't miss anything. You should write all these 2 points in each of the versions. Okay. So in first version, so what mean first point is in 1985 first Windows itself they have introduced GUI. What do you mean by GUI? Graphical user interface. So I'll explain before itself. Is it what do you mean by graphical user? User can interact to the system by using forms or various attractive colors, schemes, etc. That is graphical user interface. So first they have used in, what do you mean by processor? In motherboard I have shown first chapter, I have shown one and picture. Are you remembering one thing, that golden color rectangular piece like structure? That is called processor. So in first Windows they have used how many bit processor? 16-bit processor. Okay, first version, this is all very very important. Okay, so now itself you study. So first version, what's the first point? They have introduced graphical user interface, and how many bit processor they have used? 16-bit processor. Okay, so in this version, this year only they have introduced mouse as a input device. Okay, very very important. One more question. Which year they have introduced mouse as a input device? 1985. Understand? Have you studied now? Now itself have you studied? First part, 2 points. What are they? So first in this year 1985 they have introduced graphical user interface and also 16-bit processor. Mouse they have introduced in this year. Understand? Yes. Then next version is Windows 2.x. Okay, what's the second version? Windows 2.x. Okay, the second version also the logo symbol is same. In which year they have introduced means 1987. In which year they have introduced second version? 1987. Okay, so this year they have introduced maximize and minimize windows. Okay, maximize and minimize. What do you mean by maximize and minimize? Listen, I'll explain. So see, so this is the maximize. Now I am going to minimize this window. Listen. So is it visible? So is it visible for you? See, one minus symbol. See the mouse pointer here. This is the maximize button. So two rectangular shapes is there, no? Maximize. This is minimize. Now I am going to minimize this screen. Listen. So now while I am clicking the screen will minimize. Understand? So here also 3 buttons are there. See, minus, then this is the minimize button. I am minimizing. Now I am going to maximize that one. So once I click this on, so the screen will appear again. This is called minimize and maximize. Understand? So in this each and every application there will be 3 symbols at the corner. So minus means minimize. This means what? Maximize. If you click this, minimize means the screen will minimize and you can view the file at that down. So again if you click that file means it will come and the particular screen will display on your screen. That is called maximize. Understand? Yes. So this feature has supported in which version? Windows 2.x second version. Understand what do you mean by maximize and minimize? Yes. Then next thing, control panel feature was introduced. So settings in mobile you have a lot of settings, isn't it? Likewise in system where you need to change the settings mean in control panel. Okay. So where the settings are available? In control panel. Understand? So listen. What are the things they have introduced in the Windows 2.x? So you can able to maximize as well as minimize the windows, and also settings you can able to change various system settings and various options you can able to change. So this settings and all available in where? Control panel. Okay, don't forget. So during lab programs and all I lost these questions. So please listen carefully. Settings are available in where? Control panel. Okay. Then next version is Windows 3.x, third version. Okay. So third version the logo becomes same. So in which year they have introduced means 1992. Okay. So this year they have introduced multitasking. Okay. What do you mean by multitasking? You have studied. So more than 1 or 2 applications you can able at the same time. So for example, Word you can open at the same time, Paint you can able to open at the same time, PPT you can able to open 2 or more applications you can open and you use or execute in the computer at the same time. That is called what? Multitasking. Okay. So that feature they have introduced in which version? Version 3.x. Okay. So here this version they have introduced 256 colors. Okay, how many colors? 256 colors. Okay, that means 256 colors means, for example, red color is there means light red, dark red, then again light, likewise. That is called what? For example, listen, I'll explain. So have you seen? Is it visible for you? This and all colors. Okay, see, like this blue, red, likewise lot of colors are there. This we are calling as an what? Color schemes. Understand what I mean by color scheme? This is called as what? Color schemes. Okay, so this feature they have introduced in which one? How many colors it will support? Third version, likewise 256 colors it will support. In which version? 3.x, that means third version. So what's the use of this colorful? For example, particular website is there means the particular website have more beautiful color or look and feel color or attractive colors. So whether you will like? Yes. Where the look and attractive is there means that only you will open at the first. So look and feel is very, very important. So this third version they have introduced 256 colors. Understand? Yes, listen. So next version is Windows 95. Okay. So what's the next version? Windows 95. So which year they have introduced means 1995. Okay. So which year they have introduced? 1995. Okay. So here listen, in this version, so they have introduced start button at the taskbar. Okay. So what do you mean by taskbar means? Listen. So this is called as a taskbar. Have you seen? At the bottom, is it visible? Is it visible? This bottom is called as what? Taskbar. Okay. Have you seen this mouse pointer? This is called as taskbar. Okay. So in this which version? Version Windows 95, they have introduced start button. That means now I am using Windows 8. So here the start button is not there. So in that 95 means the start button will look at this corner. If you see this corner means start button will be there. Understand? So they have introduced in which version? In Windows 95 they have introduced start button at the taskbar. So what are the things they have introduced? Start button, Windows Explorer and start menu. Okay. So what are the things they have introduced in 1995? Start button, then Windows Explorer and start menu. Okay. So in this version they have used 32-bit processor. But first version which processor they have used? 16-bit processor. From this Windows 95 onwards they have used which processor? 32-bit processor. Why they have introduced that 32-bit processor means, so using this processor, multitasking concept can improve them more. Okay. So what do you mean by multitasking? 2 or more applications you can work at the same time. So it becomes somewhat fast compared to that 16-bit processor. Understand? So here you have studied 4 versions. What are the versions? 1.x, 2.x, 3.x and 95. So next is Windows 98. Okay. So Windows 98, what are the features they have introduced means? So here in 98 they have introduced web browser or Internet Explorer. Okay. So what do you mean by Internet Explorer? In mobile phones also you might have seen E. E is the Internet Explorer or Google Chrome, that also an explorer. Okay. So this Windows 98 onwards they have introduced this Internet Explorer in this operating system. Okay. So in mobile phone you will use Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Opera, this and all explorers. What do you mean by explorer? You can be able to open the net. Okay. So from which year onwards they have introduced? In 1998. What's the Windows name? Windows 98. So in this version they have bring which one? Internet Explorer or web browser. So what's the use of web browser? You can able to connect the net or you can able to search something in that browsers. Then here here gaming began to appear and Windows based games improved. Okay, so before introducing this Windows, they have used the DOS game. Okay, so that's the oldest method. But in this year onwards, the Windows itself, you can install new games. So nowadays, lot of online games are there, isn't it? PUBG, Free Fire, likewise. So like that, gaming features and all supported in this Windows 98. Okay, then next third point, plug and play feature was introduced. Plug and play, what do you mean? You can able to open, you can able to play particular, that is plug and play feature. Okay, so next version is Windows NT. So in Windows NT, they have the same year only. Okay, same year 1998, Windows NT. So here they have already servers in network. What do you mean by server? The server means, I'll say one best example from first chapter onwards. So our school, smart board. So I said no, all the smart board contents we are stored in one system in the ground floor. So in that underground floor. In underground floor, you can be, if you on the system only, you can able to get the video files in all the floors. That is called server. That features they have introduced in which one? Windows NT. Okay, then next version is Windows ME. Okay, so here which year they have introduced means 2000. So this year they have introduced automated system and recovery tools. What do you mean by recovery means? For example, if you lost some files, so unknowingly you are deleting some files. So before versions and all, you can't able to get the or recover the file again. But this version onwards, you can able to recover or you can able to get the file again. That is called as recovery tools. Okay. The next version is Windows 2000. So this also introduced in the same year 2000. So here they have introduced from this year onwards, the business people will focus on Windows, or this business people will get this operating system. Okay, mainly from this 2000 year onwards, mainly it was used for what? The normally we are using this Windows from normal our home laptops or systems are using which one? Windows 2000. Okay, so mainly for it is supported for whom? Business people. Okay, and also our home purpose also we are installing Windows. Okay, so for this Windows they have released 4 versions. Okay, so how many versions they have released in this Windows? 4. So Windows 2000 4 versions they have released. Okay, for professional, then server, advanced and data center. So you study this one, 4 types they have released. The next thing is Windows XP. So Windows XP they have introduced in the year 2001. Okay, so here till now first they have introduced how many bit processor? 16 bit. Then they have introduced 32 bit. Then 2001 they have introduced 64 bit processor. Okay, so from this Windows XP onwards, you can, the look and feel will very beautiful. If you compare to before versions, so you can, the appearance and the appearance of the particular screen will looks very beautiful from this Windows XP. Okay, then next version is Windows Vista. Okay, so which year they have introduced? 2006. So this is the logo for Windows Vista. So here why they have this in Windows Vista, the look and feel will very beautiful compared to other versions. The attract, some colors becomes more attractive than other Windows. Okay, that's the use of Windows Vista. Then Windows 7. So this Windows 7, most of them we are using which one? Windows 7. So this is the one of the very important and most supportive feature for all applications, which is version mean Windows 7. So here which year they have introduced? 2009. So here why they have introduced means booting time was improved. What do you mean by booting? Once you switch on the computer, so immediately within a second the computer will on, all the devices are connected and properly, that and all checking is very within a moment it will done. That is called as booting time. So that programs or that improvement was done in which one? Which version? Windows 7. Okay, so here so lot of programs are there. You can able to pin the programs in taskbar. Okay, so what do you mean by pin the programs in? Before I have shown no. So listen, is it visible for you? So This is the taskbar. I explain, no? So you can able to pin. This is called programs. Okay, lot of applications. I am giving lot of applications in my laptop. You can able to pin lot of things in this taskbar. That feature was introduced from which year? 2009. Okay, 2009. Okay, that's the important feature. And also here they have introduced aeropic. What do you mean by aeropic? Means that you will study it later. Okay, then two more versions. Then Windows 8. Next version is Windows 8, which year they have introduced? 2012. So now my system I am using Windows 8. Okay, so here this version is fast compared to other version. This version is very faster. Okay, so from this version, so here better compared to other version. So this better advantage. Here one of the important feature is here the start button was removed. Okay, start button is not there in this version. Okay, then Windows 10. Next version is Windows 10. Here again they have added the start button. Okay, so this Windows 7 and 8, most of the people will use this Windows 7 and 8. So this Windows 8, the touch screens are support. Likewise, mobile, this Windows 8 also you can use touch screen. Okay, so this is the very important question. Please completion of this session. Please study, write and see. Very important question. Okay, so thank you students. So this is the today's homework or assignment for you. Today you should study and write. Once the school reopen, I'll ask you to submit this one. Okay, this is a very important question. Thank you students. Thank you.